Have you ever stumbled upon a historical mystery so peculiar it makes you question everything you thought you knew about the past? Today, we're diving into one of the most bizarre and delightful enigmas from the Middle Ages: knights fighting snails. Yes, you heard that right. Medieval illuminated manuscripts are filled with images of armored knights battling these humble gastropods. This isn't just a rare occurrence, it's a recurring motif that has puzzled historians and art enthusiasts for centuries. Why would such a seemingly absurd scene be so prevalent in sacred and scholarly texts? Let's uncover the possible reasons. First, let's set the stage. What exactly are illuminated manuscripts, and why were they so important in the medieval world? These were handwritten books, often religious texts, adorned with intricate decorations, illustrations, and gilded elements. They were treasures, painstakingly created by scribes and artists, primarily in monasteries, serving as both art and knowledge repositories. The Marginalia, or marginal illustrations, are where our snail knight duels often appear. These were often playful or satirical. These marginal scenes provided a fascinating glimpse into the medieval mind, often contrasting sharply with the serious main text. The phenomenon of knights fighting snails can be traced across various European regions, from France and England to Germany and Italy. It wasn't confined to a single artist or workshop, suggesting a widespread cultural understanding or inside joke. The earliest known examples date back to the 13th century, continuing into the 14th and 15th centuries, evolving in style and context. Now let's delve into the fascinating theories attempting to explain this peculiar medieval obsession. Our first theory suggests humor and satire. Medieval humor was often crude and absurd. The image of a mighty knight struggling against a slow, vulnerable snail would have been inherently funny. It could be a form of self-deprecating humor, poking fun at the chivalric ideals of the time, or even a critique of overly pompous knights. Imagine the scribes toiling away for hours, finding a moment of levity by drawing these silly scenes in the margins. The contrast between the grand narrative of the text and the triviality of the marginalia would have been a source of amusement. Next, we explore the symbolism theory. Snails, with their shells and slow movement, held various symbolic meanings in the Middle Ages. One prominent theory suggests the snail represents the Lombards, a group of Italian bankers and moneylenders often viewed with suspicion. The Lombards were seen as outsiders, and their financial practices were sometimes considered usurious, making them unpopular with the nobility. The knight battling the snail could symbolize the nobility's struggle against these perceived threats to their social order and wealth. Another symbolic interpretation links the snail to the poor or the oppressed. Its slow, humble nature could represent the common folk. In this context, the knight fighting the snail might represent the powerful nobility clashing with the struggles or grievances of the lower classes. The moral allegory theory offers another compelling explanation. In medieval thought, animals often carried strong moral or religious connotations. The snail, with its slow pace and tendency to retreat into its shell, was sometimes associated with sloth, one of the 7 deadly sins. Therefore, a knight battling a snail could symbolize the struggle against sin, particularly the sin of sloth or idleness. The knight, representing virtue and Christian ideals, would be fighting to overcome this moral failing, a common theme in medieval literature. The snail's vulnerability could also represent the fragility of human life or the fleeting nature of earthly existence. In this light, the knight's battle could be a reminder of mortality and the importance of spiritual preparedness. Beyond these major theories, some scholars propose simpler explanations, such as pure artistic playfulness or the artist's personal whimsy. Perhaps there was no deep meaning at all, and these were simply doodles, a way for artists to express creativity outside the main text's constraints. The medieval world was not devoid of humor or the absurd, and these marginalia might just be a testament to that. Another theory suggests a connection to specific folklore or local legends that have since been lost to time. It's possible these images were inside jokes understood by a specific community or region whose context is now obscure to us. The beauty of these medieval mysteries is that they invite us to speculate, to imagine, and to connect with the past in a unique way. While we may never know the definitive answer, The ongoing scholarly debate only adds to the charm and allure of medieval art. These whimsical marginalia remind us that history isn't always grand battles and solemn kings. It's also filled with humor and human eccentricity. The knight and the snail, forever locked in their peculiar dance, continue to spark our imagination and curiosity. They are a testament to the rich, complex, and often surprising tapestry of medieval culture. So, the next time you encounter a historical oddity, remember the knights and their gastropod adversaries. They remind us that even the most serious historical periods had their moments of delightful absurdity. What do you think is the most plausible explanation for these bizarre duels? Share your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more journeys into the quirky corners of history.